Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 11th October 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. And whatever the articles which appear in our today's Hindu which are relevant from our examination point of view, we are going to follow those articles. So if you see the title of the first article, it talks about Nobel Prize in which category? In literature. So this article is very much important now because not only from awards point of view, if you are writing any answer regarding inequality, discrimination and historical traumas, violence and patriarchy, so these are the concepts that you will be studying in your Indian society from GS paper 1. So from that answers and from even essay point of view also, this article you can use a lot. Okay, now let us see why it is in news. South Korean writer Han Kang has been awarded 2024 Nobel Prize in category of literature for her intense prose that addresses historical traumas and human fragility. So actually she got this Nobel Prize because of her innovative and experimental style of writing. So especially her writings focused on patriarchy, that is male dominated society, and violence and grief. So one of the some important works of her is The Vegetarian, Human Acts and the White Book. Okay, now let us see some important key facts that you need to understand here is, so Han Kang got recognition as a first Korean Nobel laureate. So this is very important because there is increasing of global interest even in Asian literature. And even now Asian authors, they are also going to gain their visibility across the world. So this is the first important point you have to remember. And next one is, through her narratives, Han Kang delves into complex themes. So she is delving into the themes like identity. Particularly they are focusing on women's experience against patriarchal structures, and even they are focusing on resilience and struggle within her characters. And next one is, she mainly focused on experimental writing style. She blended both poetry and as well as prose. And even she went for conventional storytelling and even encouraged the readers to engage with emotional depth of her characters. And even one more important point you have to remember here is, she also focused on historical events in Korea like 1980 military massacre, and he also wants to give the voice to marginalized stories as well. And she also focused on enriching the collective memory and understanding the past traumas as well. And even in her writings, she focused on truth about human existence, and even she focused on uncomfortable lives and uncomfortable realities and fragilities of the life. So these are some important things that you have to remember from this article. And now let us see the next article. It is very important. So title says, India will share digital expertise in ASEAN. So here we have two keywords, that is digital expertise or digital technology, and second one is ASEAN. So this ASEAN you will be reading in your GS paper 2 under international relations, and this digital technology is part of our GS paper 3 under science and technology. So what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to see this, what is the digital technology, and you have to see examples of this digital technology, and you have to see applications of this digital technology. And from Asian point of view, you have to see some basic facts where you will be getting prelims based question. And even if you are writing any answer regarding digital technology, so you can use even international relations dimensions, and you can show that India will even share the digital expertise even in ASEAN grouping. So like this you can use this an article as an example or a case study. So now if you see the context, it says that India is set to share its digital expertise. Particularly we want to share DPI, that is digital public infrastructure. For example, we have Aadhaar, We have UPI. With whom? With Asian nations. So why it is important? If you are sharing this with Asian nations, it will be helpful for addressing the challenges of education, challenges in healthcare, challenges in agriculture, challenges of climate change, etc. And we can give emphasis for developing necessary skills and knowledge as well. So if you see the key points, the first one is, yes, we are going to share DPI because India is already very well successfully implemented this Aadhaar and UPI services. So because of this, India is acting as a model for Asian countries, and India can showcase its success in these Asian countries, like how we can use this DPI services to promote financial inclusion and as well as for efficient service delivery. And next one is, we can also strengthen ties with ASEAN through digital collaboration, and even we can enhance regional stability and economic resilience as well. And if you see educational transformation, yes, leveraging digital tools that can also revolutionize education in this ASEAN. And even if you are using this digital transformation, so we can make our education more accessible and as well as we can make them more affordable, and we can address the local needs as well. And next one here is sharing of these digital health solutions that will also improve our healthcare access, that will also improve our quality of the healthcare, especially in most of the rural areas of these Asian nations. So they are having the problem, so that we can address that problems. And next one is, by using these digital technologies, we can optimize agricultural practices, we can increase productivity of agriculture, and we can increase sustainability of the region. And next one is, whenever we are coming up with joint initiatives with different countries and when we are sharing the best practices, it will be helpful for addressing of global challenge like climate change. And Asian region plays a very important role in addressing this climate change. And next one is, even we are focusing on skill enhancement, so that we are empowering local populations and we are ensuring successful adoption of technologies as well. So if you see some facts regarding this ASEAN, ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. It is grouping of Southeast Asian nations. So what is the aim of this grouping? They want to promote economic and security cooperation among its 10 members. So which are the members? We have Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. So when this organization was established? In year 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand. And who are the founding members of ASEAN? Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand, and later on other nations joined this organization. What is the motto of this ASEAN? They are focusing on one vision, one identity and one community. It is very important. If you see the foundational principles of this ASEAN, the first and the foremost thing here is, they want to give the mutual respect for independence, for sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity and national identity for all nations which are part of this ASEAN. And they also ensure that right of every state to lead its national existence free from external interference. So there should be no external interference. There should be no subversion or coercion. And next important principle is non-interference in internal affairs of one another. And we are focusing on renunciation of the threat or use of force, and they need effective cooperation among themselves. And now let us see the next article. It is talking about first responder. So this article is talking about India-Maldives relations. So actually from last 3 to 4 days onwards, we are studying this India-Maldives relations. Actually Maldives is facing economic crisis now. So because of this, India accepted to provide $50 million as currency swap. So we have currency swap agreement. Apart from that, we also have some agreements with Maldives. So here there is a very high chance of getting question regarding GS paper 2 and international relations. and you can expect 15 or 10 marker question in your mains. So actually in 2024 UPSC mains you got question regarding India-Maldives, that is for 15 marker. So there is a high chance of getting questions, so please do focus. And now let us see actually why it is a news. So we know that Maldives and India's relations are going in a good pace now. So Maldives president he visited India. That means we can understand there is decreasing of tensions between India and Maldives now. And India is also coming out of India Out campaign of Maldives. And actually initially whenever this new government which formed in Maldives, so initially we had distancing or like we had very low relations. But recently we are having good diplomatic efforts, like we are going to provide this currency swap agreement and economic support from India, and we are also coming up with joint projects. So because of this now there is somewhat improved ties between India and Maldives. And now the both nations they are focusing on strengthening of their partnership, and it is showcasing how subtle diplomacy can effectively navigate previous conflicts. So if you see the key important details that you have to remember from this article here is, yes, now there is a diplomatic talk. So once this president of Maldives he visited India, and we are now going to have the relationship better. And that means earlier we have antagonism, that means opposite, but now we are moving towards cooperation. So now we can we say that we are moving from antagonism to cooperation? So this will highlight the importance of diplomatic engagement over aggressive posturing. Rather than fighting, so we have to go for diplomatic arrangement so that we can stabilize our relations, so that we will be having good regional dynamics. And if you see the economic interdependence, so India's financial support for this Maldives is very critical now. Especially it will be helping this island nation to avoid a default, and even this will be helpful for strengthening of political relationship of India and Maldives. And next one is we are also had a talks regarding revival of tourism. So as you all know that we had this boycott Maldives movement. Okay, hashtag boycott Maldives. So because of this what happened? So there is decreased Indian tourist visit to Maldives. It had been affected economy of Maldives a lot. So by advocating that for the return of Indian tourists, so now here president he recognized that it will going to benefit this Maldives, which is very important for Maldives economy, which reflects willingness to repair bilateral ties now. And this one is the changing of political landscapes in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka is happening. So because of this, it will put pressure on India to maintain strong relationship in the region. So it mainly makes Maldives a local point for its regional strategy. And even if you see here, replacing of Indian troops with technical personnels, they marks the compromise that it respects Maldives sovereignty. And even we need to maintain India's strategic interest as well. So if you want to resolve any security issues between the countries, we have to use diplomacy rather than aggressiveness. So this is the thing which mainly said here. And next one is we are also initiating some joint projects between India and Maldives. And even we are going to have some free trade agreement discussions. So because of this, what happened, whenever we are having this free trade agreement, it will boost economy, and as well as it will improve economic ties, it will improve production, it will lead to increasing of economic activity, etc. So because of this, we can enhance economic resilience of both the nations if you are having this kind of joint projects and as well as free trade agreements. And next important point you have to focus here is India's role as a first responder, which underscores its historical influence and commitment to regional stability. As you all know that, yes, India is one of the first responder. So if there is anything which happens in the neighborhood, so India will come first to help those countries. So in the same way, for this Maldives also, India is a first responder. So whenever India is coming forward and helping the other countries, it will mainly showcases our historical influence and even our commitment towards regional stability, and even we want to ensure that Maldives is one of the reliable partner in times of need. So these are some important things that you have to see, and I request you to open your atlas and see map of Maldives, and you have to see exact location of Maldives. Okay, and even there is one more article in our paper which is regarding Maldives in editorial page. We are going to discuss that as well. Now let us move on to next article. Title says the grueling course of litigation in India. So actually you know that in India we have judiciary. So in this judiciary we have three-tier judiciary, right? Supreme Court, High Court and district courts or subordinate courts. So actually what are the problems or challenges faced by our Indian judiciary? One is there is delayed justice. So as you all know that delayed justice is denied justice. So here we have to focus on the concept called as black coat syndrome. So here you can get mains or prelims based question regarding this black coat syndrome. Black coat syndrome is in news. What it is related to. So in this way also you can get a question in your mains. So now let us see this article in detail. So let us try to understand what is this black coat syndrome, why our President of India used this word black coat syndrome. So if you see context why it is in news, our President of India Draupadi Murmu recently addressed the issue of court delays. And how she addressed this problem of court delays? So she said that this is a black coat syndrome. Yes, people are showing some hesitation pursuing justice because of very tough litigation process. And even there are ineffective case management is happening, and there are judicial pressures, and there is no proper performance evaluation system, and even there are no proper incentives. Okay, so these are all the things. Because of this there is delay in of justice, and justice delayed is called as justice denied. So now let us see some important points which are given in this article, which are very relevant now. Here is there is public reluctance. So because of fear of delays, because of complications, so people they are not showing any interest to get justice from our legal system. So because of this there is undermining of access to justice. So it is one of the important problem. And next one is there is systemic pressures on judges. So here because of the influence of higher courts on district courts or district judges, that is creating scheduling chaos, and also we need proper alignment between directives and as well as operational realities. And next if you see the behavioral dynamics, so there is acknowledging and also the motivations of all judicial participants, that will also leads to more effective reforms, and as well as we need to have better case management practices. And whatever the current performance evaluation system which encourages quick resolutions of earlier cases, so we are neglecting complex issues that require in-depth judicial attention. And next here if you see the resource allocation, there is disproportionate focus on expedient case disposal that will mainly disrupt overall court efficiency, and even that will leads to longer delays for complex cases as well. So we need proper resource allocation. And next one is lawyer strategy. So lawyer strategic choices on case attendance, that will also further leads to complicating of schedule, and even there is some interplay between legal professions and court efficiencies going on. So here lawyers will not take the cases equally. They will be giving priority to some cases and less priority to some cases, and even there is no proper free legal aid which is given our DPSP also. So because of all these things, yes, there are some issues in our judicial system. and I request you to write down what are the measures can be taken to address the challenge of delaying of justice in our Indian courts. So do this work, don't forget. And actually finally we need strong reforms. So we have to take systemic factors into consideration, we have to take behavioral practices or factors into consideration, and we have to see why there is delays or happening. So how can we improve access to the justice in our country? And next important topic is the UK and leaving lessons from the Indian Ocean. So actually this article is talking about Chagos Island. So this Chagos Island is located in Indian Ocean region. So if you see Chagos Island, which is historically linked to Maldives, it is also connected with Maldives with rich culture and as well as navigational heritage. So here if you see the Secretary General, so he made some highlights about the historical claims and connections between Maldives and Chagos Island. So they also emphasize that there is a need for Great Britain to respect this heritage while maintaining marine conservation efforts in this region. So whenever Great Britain is focusing on marine conservation, even they have to focus on the rich heritage as well. So here especially they are focusing on Britain's historical decolonization lessons that we have to learn to preserve islands now. So if you see the details, so this article is saying that yes, we need to focus on cultural heritage. So whenever we are focusing on the environment concern and also protecting of islands, so we have to see where the link of history is. So actually the historical link is between Maldives and Chagos Islands. So we have to focus on even cultural heritage amidst of we have geopolitical changes or challenges. So we need to focus on mutual respect as well. Next one is we have to focus on sustainable fishing practices. So Maldives will use the sustainable fishing techniques rather than industrial fishing practices. So whenever we are going for industrial fishing practices, that will be having threat on the marine life. So we need to focus on environment stewardship in oceanic governance as well. And next important point here is impact on colonialism. So the historical context of sovereignty over these Chagos Islands, which reflects border patterns of colonialism. That means these countries, especially Western countries, they came to different colonies and they occupied these colonies. So this concept is called as colonialism. So here territorial claims often disregarded local populations, and even they didn't understand like how the future policies should be. So this is an important impact of colonialism. And after that, whenever these colonies they were left free and after they get independence, they are called as decolonized. So whenever they became decolonization, so it is also presenting some complex challenges like partition, and even what are the strategies that we have to take to control humane transitions. And if you are focusing on biodiversity conservation, Chagos Islands, they are protected status and they serve as an important model for biodiversity conservation. And even they emphasize the role of international cooperation in preserving unique ecosystems. And the navigational routes, they are connecting the Maldives and Chagos Islands, which illustrates the region's historical significance in maritime trade and cultural exchanges. And this knowledge, it can enhance our regional identity as well. So here to focus on both environment and as well as to focus on historical perspective, yes, we need to have a dialogue between Britain and as well as Maldives. It is very essential for maintaining the Indian islands protected status, and we have to ensure the historical injustices, they have to be addressed in contemporary policies. And now let us see other article. Apart from that, first if you see the map, here we have Chagos Islands, here we have Maldives, and this is India. Okay, and here we have Seychelles, here we have Mauritius, and here we have Madagascar. So these are the islands: Maldives, Chagos Islands, Seychelles, Mauritius and Madagascar. So there is one important article which appeared in our newspaper is government declares Hizab ul Tahrir as a terror organization. So here Union Home Ministry declared Hizb-ut-Tahrir a terror organization under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So why this organization had been declared as this terrorist organization? Because this outfit is involved in the various acts of terror like radicalizing youth, and even they went for recruitment of this youth into terror organizations, and even they went for collecting of funds or terror financing for activities which are very serious threat to the national security and sovereignty of India. So because of this, finally this organization has been declared. So this is very, very important. And next important article here is, can India escape middle income trap? So this article is important from GS paper 3 under economy. So here when you are getting this kind of words or keywords from your UPSC syllabus, you have to understand what is that word is about and why it is in use. So here you have to know what is this middle income trap. And next you have to see what are the causes of this middle income trap. And next you have to see what will be the impact of this middle income trap. And next, what are the measures to be taken to control this, or else what are the initiatives taken by the government to come out of this middle income trap. So all these things that you have to know. So what is this middle income trap? So this is very, very important topic. Okay, so middle income trap is nothing but we can see like middle income trap, it is a one important word where we can see like there will be decreasing of growth of the country. So what are the important reasons for this decreasing of the growth of the country? So there is increasing of unemployment rate, and there is decreasing of production, decreasing of exports, decreasing of income, decreasing of demand for the goods. So everything which happens in our economy, so this causes mainly middle income trap. So here now we have to see whether India can come out of this middle income trap or not. So how we can achieve this target of Viksit Bharat 2047. So these are the things that you have to remember from this article. So these are the very important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this class, please hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. And thank you so much for watching, guys.